Go.
Welcome back to another episode of Compelled, a podcast dedicated to talking about the culture of sexual assault and abuse, where we attempt to bring out the bigger issues and what we as a society can do about it.
You have to fix that. It's not just a podcast dedicated to culture of
yeah,
sexual
because you want to
assault.
add some extra stuff in there. Then that's fine. I'm not.
A cultural podcast about abuse and weird shit and
Yeah, I mean,
privacy
because
issues.
There's more.
Yada,
Yeah,
yada,
I mean,
yada.
there's plenty of people being abused that aren't being raped. So we should talk about more than just that. Cover a little more of the spectrum, I guess. So anyway, I am Joe Spiegel.
Mike Sutherland.
All right, welcome to Compelled, of course, which I've already done. And who are we going to be talking about today? Who are we going to start pointing the finger at?
Corey fucking Feldman.
Corey Feldman, who when we've brought him up on before on the podcast, we always usually pro things, pro Corey Feldman, supportive, remarks about him.
I'm still supportive of the fact that he has been abused.
Yeah.
It's a well-known hidden, I use that in quotes.
Yeah.
It's what do they call it? It's a secret, an open secret. It's an open secret.
Uh-huh.
And the funny thing is that Corey Feldman has never said anything bad about Michael Jackson. Okay, in fact, he's spoken out in defense of Jackson in the way.
And neither has Macaulay Culkin.
Correct. So, was Michael Jackson a kid toucher?
I know we haven't gotten into this one yet.
Yeah,
we're not going to.
get into it.
But my personal opinion is this: I say no, and I've got certain reasons why. But if someone came out later on and found this fucking dungeon where he had all this pedo shit in there, I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
I will say that,
and I agree with you. I think that Michael Jackson had a weird upbringing, and his dad beat him mercilessly.
And people exploited the shit out of it with their kids.
Exactly, and then they tried to get money out of it.
Mm-hmm. And his attorneys didn't want the shit drawn out, right? So they just say, just fucking pay him and make him go away.
Yeah, and that was the wrong way to
fucking
do it.
So we'll definitely say Michael Jackson for another one. So
yeah,
but yeah, the fact that you never heard Macaulay Culkin and Corey Feldman talk about him like bad ever, that kind of gave me a huge hint. You know what I mean?
All right, so Corey Feldman has been charged with... Not charged. He's been accused. Has not been charged. Of sexual battery. A woman walked into a police station Monday and filed a report. This was Monday, January 8th, claiming Corey grabbed her ass in 2017. The Los Angeles Police Department and Los Angeles City Attorney's Office cleared him of charges. He will not be facing sexual battery charges. Last month, he was stabbed by 3 men in an attempted murder attack and was immediately hospitalized. The case took an interesting turn when the police department said they haven't seen any lacerations on Corey's abdomen, to which he said he was stabbed with a needle. I want to get into that because, and we don't need to get into the allegations of Corey Feldman being abused sexually, okay? Yeah. We all know the story. We all know what's going on. That's kind of for a different show.
Yeah.
What we're going to be focusing on is the fact that Corey Feldman is not who he says he is.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys are familiar with a guy named Bobby Wolfe that's Wolfe, Bobby Wolfe.
It's like you're doing a radio announcement.
I am.
WOLFE.
And
on the 10s.
Yeah. Traffic and weather together on the 5s.
There you go.
Sports on the 10s. This guy, Bobby, has been interviewing Corey Feldman's ex-bodyguard who had been with him for years.
Yeah.
Like years and years and years.
Possibly a scolded ex-employee? Bitter?
Possibly. What do you mean?
I'm just throwing shit out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard to, I mean, how much, like, it's easy to say, oh, well, whatever he says is going to be gospel, but it's like, wait a minute. I mean, what if, he felt slighted or something, and so out of spite...
Because he's been offered book deals and he hasn't taken them.
Okay.
The tour bus driver for Corey Feldman and his Angels has been interviewed by this guy. The owner of the company of the tour bus has been interviewed just to follow up and make sure, it's credible. It's all credible.
In multiple perspectives.
And then you have the guitarist for Corey Feldman's Angels, who left the tour like at the end of the tour. She stayed for the year. Now, all of these have one thing in common, and the one thing in common is that Corey Feldman never paid them. He didn't, and all of the allegations against Corey Feldman is that this is going to be a little bit difficult because I have to remember all this shit, and it's not on the web. The allegations of the guitarist, and I believe her. Do I believe her 100%? No, because some of that is personal dislikes, with her saying, that's what I mean by personal dislikes. Her getting it off her chest about what she didn't like about Corey Feldman and the crew that was around him. She absolutely adores all the musicians. She was there. She is the band leader. That's who she was. Uh-huh. Okay, and they didn't play. They played most of the music off of the soundtracks of the movies that he was in, like Gremlins and Goonies and stuff like that.
Dream a Little Dream.
Yeah, and she wasn't paid for any of it.
Yeah.
They had rules on the bus. The bus was vegan.
Yeah.
Sorry, not vegan. The bus had they had a rule on the bus that if you couldn't bring any meat on the bus, and if you did, they would kick you off the bus. Rain or shine, it didn't matter. And then you would have to eat it all outside because they couldn't handle it. And then there was a whole lot of bullshit that was going on, not just with the food and whatever else. It was Corey would dismiss the people that would have to help load and unload all of the equipment.
Yeah.
They had one bus, not multiple buses.
Yeah.
So everybody had to sleep on one bus. You had to, if you had, and this is all in the idea of keeping the money down.
Yeah,
right?
budgeting, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then when Corey got paid, he didn't pay he didn't pay anybody. In fact, he didn't even pay the bus company. And that's the one thing that's become the biggest problem. Now, Corey has responded to these allegations.
Yeah.
And he said, well, that's bullshit. And, we did do this, we did do that. When we're being sued by some whoever it is that's being sued. I don't know if it's the bus company but they're being sued for non-payment of anybody.
Yeah.
These people had taken a time off of their busy schedules to work with Corey Feldman and do his fucking Angels thing and go on tour and make all this money.
Yeah.
And then he just takes the money. Now, Corey Feldman is married to Courtney Ann Mitchell. Okay?
Yeah.
Remember that name. Courtney Ann Mitchell is a fucking piece of shit.
Is that your what do they call that? Educated opinion? Or?
Yes, that is my educated opinion.
Okay.
Is
that your professional opinion?
That too, my professional opinion. She it seems to be a money-grubbing piece of garbage.
Uh-huh. Like the chick that was with Gary Coleman when he died.
Yes, absolutely. All she wants is money. All she's trying to do is take advantage of Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see her in the background photos that Feldman posted to TMZ. Feldman likes to use TMZ a lot.
Instead of like more reputable.
Yeah, like Fox or whatever else. He likes to send all of his bullshit to TMZ.
Because you know why? Because they'll overhype his shit, and then it seems more dramatic and possibly realistic because, they're adding spice to it, right? By acting all, you won't believe, blah, 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 right?
Yeah. Yeah, Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman,
See, too much zaniness.
Yeah. Corey Feldman, the born-again Christian, God-fearing, straight, what do they call it? Straight edge, lovable guy.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's not straight edge. He's a fucking drug addict. He's miserable. His house is absolutely disgusting.
Is it?
He is a disgusting person. Like when they were talking about the tour bus, they would bring dogs on the tour bus, and generally you don't bring animals on the tour bus, and they let the dogs shit and piss wherever they wanted. Really?
But you can't bring meat on there.
Yeah.
That's some what do you? That's like some what do you call that? recluse shit, like some fucking Howard Hughes type shit.
Yeah.
You know, just
like he has no furniture in his house.
like eccentric to the point of fucking crazy. You know, like, well, hey, I've got so much money now, I can just act how I've always wanted to act, kind of thing. Well, guess what? The people that are able to do that and act that way, that means they were crazy the whole fucking time.
Really, I don't even find her attractive. But that's besides the point. So, if you're unfamiliar with who Mitchell is, she plays keyboard in his band, Corey Feldman and the Angels, is one of the quote-unquote main angels. Her Instagram is full of food pictures because she's a vegan or vegan.
You keep saying fake.
I know. a fakin' and a nutritional coach. She's a Hollywood fakist. That's what she is. She's Hollywood fake.
What do they call it? Sycophants?
Yeah, if you want to call it that. He knows, let's see. According to Feldman, he knows who was responsible for Tuesday's reported stabbing, a group called, quote-unquote, the Wolf Pack. Now, I bring that up because the Wolf Pack was made up by this guy named Bobby Wolf, who just randomly blurted it out one day because he does this whole podcast thing on the whole Corey Feldman timeline.
Yeah.
And it's intriguing. It really is a good show.
Yeah.
And I can't even do it justice. But this is what we're going to be talking about anyways. So I'm in the hospital. I was
wait. All caps. Remember that. It's all fucking caps.
Okay. A man opened my car door and stabbed me with something. Please say prayers for us. Okay, so I'm bringing this up because of a couple of things. Thank God it was only myself and my security in the car when 3 men approached while security was distracted. Really? Your security was distracted when a man just randomly opened the fucking door?
Oh, look at the kitty.
Yeah.
Puppies.
A guy pulled up. It's supposed to be a guy pulled up and attacked. I'm okay. And then LAPD are currently investigating the case as an attempted homicide. I have had mounting threats on all SM platforms by this vile, quote-unquote, wolf pack. And this, I'm sure, is a result of those negative actions. I have reason to believe it's all connected. Enough is enough. How sick are these people? All right. So, Corey Feldman did not have a laceration on his stomach. He may have been poked with a needle, something. Look, I can't say he wasn't fucking stabbed because there are actually 3 witnesses, 3 firefighters, or what he says, fire engineers.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that means, but we'll just say what they are, okay? He says...
There's custodial engineers out there.
Well, yeah, these guys are quote-unquote fire engineers, according to Corey Feldman. And they witnessed this attack. So I can't say that didn't happen. What I'm saying is this. I honestly believe it was orchestrated.
Yeah.
Okay? And the reason why I believe it's orchestrated is this.
Like watching Ghost Hunters?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to bring this up. So, what did Corey Haim die of?
He wasn't a drug overdose. He died from his heart was too weak or something like that because it was like years of drug abuse had damaged his heart or something.
Pneumonia.
Okay.
He died of pneumonia.
Arlie Ermy just died of pneumonia too.
Yeah. In the time leading up to his death, Haim shared an apartment with his mother who was battling breast cancer.
Who was it that gave out that? I don't know.
His death appeared to be an accidental overdose. Bottles containing Valium, Vicodin, Soma, which is a muscle relaxant, haloperidol, antipsychotic, and later confirmed as needed to be prescribed by a specialist to acquire. It emerged that Haim had used illegal aliases to procure over 553 prescription pills in 32 days before his death.
Damn.
Having doctor shopped 7 different physicians and used 7 pharmacies to obtain the supply, all of whom failed due diligence.
So he switched from the hardcore illegal shit, you know what I mean by illegal shit, and just went to pills.
195 Valium, 149 Vicodin, 194 Soma, and 15 Xanax. He had been ill with flu-like symptoms for 2 days. A doctor called on him and took his temperature, but did not suspect serious problems. As he got out of bed, he felt a little weak and went down on the floor on his knees. His ruled that his death was due to pneumonia. Before the official autopsy reports being released publicly, Haim's mother stated that the coroner had given her a courtesy call to state his preliminary findings that Haim died of pulmonary edema and was suffering from an enlarged heart and water on the lungs, typically signs of drug abuse.
See, that's what I heard.
Haim's death certificate lists diffuse alveolar damage and community-acquired pneumonia as causes of death, with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, with coronary arteriosclerosis listed as conditions contributing. I don't even want to look it up. I don't care. Heart stuff.
Is it similar to anal contusions?
Haim's agent discounted the possibility of an overdose, citing his recent drive toward clean living and affirming that he had been completely drug-free for 2 weeks. Completely drug-free. 2 weeks. That's fucking living in complete denial, by the way. We got to kind of wrap this up.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm looking at Corey Haim is because there's a rumor going around that Corey Haim had HIV.
Okay. Oh, and got it from the Sheenster?
No, there is no... who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes. But I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
So the reason why I brought that up is because Corey Feldman has been stabbed, okay?
Yeah.
With a needle. And now he's saying that he has a 5% chance to live.
Okay. I know where you're going with this.
Here we go.
I know where you're going with this.
All right. Where am I going with this?
You do that every time. Just do it,
Just say it, man. Say it.
He's going to come out and say that he's fucking positive, and he's going to use that as how he got it.
Bingo.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for him, Johnny?
And he's probably been HIV positive for years.
Uh-huh.
And nobody wants to deal with Corey Feldman anymore.
Yeah.
And there's reasons for it, and there's reasons against it. The reason why mainly they don't want to deal with Corey Feldman anymore is because of the whole Hollywood pedophilia thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, professionally, like if you are for Corey Feldman coming out and all this other stuff, against the pedophilia ring, then that's one thing.
Yeah.
There are people that would still work with him, but after the allegations of him not paying anybody and being just a fucking piece of shit,
bridges are burned,
and everything can be attributed to him, to his attitude after him marrying this Courtney Mitchell person.
Yeah.
His entire life changed when he married her. He turned into a complete fucking asshole, according to his longtime bodyguard who quit on Corey because the guy's a fucking dick and won't pay anybody.
I wonder if she's like, she enables certain things for him, and then he just lets her fucking take control of everything.
Right. So,
all speculation, of course.
Yes. So, anyways, what I'm saying is that we're going to be monitoring the whole Corey Feldman situation. I believe what he is saying about the Hollywood rape factory. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
And there's more confirmations coming out each and every day. Obviously, the Jimmy Savile thing that we talked about earlier, and the Jonathan King that we'll be talking about. All of these have connections to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And all of these have connections to everything that's going
Jeffrey
on
Jones,
anyways.
we talked about him, yeah.
Yep. We didn't talk about Jeffrey Jones.
Well, we did. You know what I mean.
But we've talked about him.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm talking about in terms of Corey Feldman is you can't dismiss his allegations against Hollywood.
Yeah.
You can dismiss the man and his business practices because he's a piece of garbage.
To me, he seems like someone who has been tainted. Tainted by what's happened to him in the past, and someone is using it to exploit him now.
Absolutely.
His wife.
Yep.
And you have a flawed human being, a very flawed human being.
Well, get this. Why would somebody need money? Basically, he's like, I need money, and then I'll release the names. It's like...
more like he needs money to pay for his...
Like fucking ransom.
For his don't turn my HIV into full-blown AIDS medicine.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like he needs money for. Because I heard that shit's extremely expensive.
Yeah, the HIV medicine's really, really expensive.
Yeah.
It's as expensive as mine.
Fuck. I wonder how much it costs them to make that shit.
Pennies on the dollar.
Fuck you, pharma.
According to Bono, one pill costs 25 cents.
Yeah.
A quarter.
What is it? Anytime you want to release any kind of new drug or anything, it's years of tests, and you have to spend like $2.5 billion.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yep. That's why they make a lot of money off of it.
Fuck them.
Trillions of dollars. Anyways.
So we can get into that shit on Compelled, too. I'm compelled to fucking talk about pharma. Oh, Where did that bullet come from?
Anyways, when it comes right down to it, Corey Feldman, the human being,
Yeah.
has been obviously adversely affected. His wife is the one that's behind all of this stuff.
Yeah.
His wife is the one that's making him charge money for holding Hollywood ransom,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
How the fuck is he going to ask?
I quote myself.
How the fuck is he going to ask for money to make a movie about the pedophilia epidemic, but not pay the motherfuckers who he was touring with?
Yeah, that's what they want to know. Even better, how the fuck does he go? He literally went on vacation the day the tour ended.
Yeah.
The day the tour ended, he was on a plane going to Hawaii. And they're like, and I can't remember who said this. I don't know if it was the bus driver or if it was somebody else. Anyways, it was one of those guys.
Yeah.
And they said, how the fuck can somebody, it was in connection with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
How can somebody justify going to Hawaii and not paying their employees the money that they owe them and then just completely forgetting about it?
Like I've said
Like
before,
he went
dude,
to Hawaii for like a fucking week.
self-justification. There's something he convinced himself that he was perfectly fine to do, whether it was her in his ear or whatever.
It was her in his ear. I guarantee it.
Yeah. I'm just glad I got 99 problems and a fucking blood-sucking bitch ain't one.
Yep, exactly.
Okay?
Anyways, long story short, we've gone long enough. Corey Feldman, the human being, and his wife are pieces of garbage.
Yeah, and you know what? And the dude looks like he's like in the early stages of turning into to druggy Charlie Sheen.
Yep,
You know?
absolutely. I totally agree. And
He even sounds like him, dude, when he talks.
yeah, we're trying to keep these compelled short. An
Yeah.
hour long is too long, we think. But it's just kind of like a taste. We'll get more into Corey Feldman later. I want to go over. I need to do more research with the Bobby Wolf thing and start putting some names down.
Yeah.
So we can talk specifically about these people
Yeah.
that Bobby Wolf is interviewing.
Yeah.
So that way there's a more rounded story than just, hey, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
This is why he's a piece of shit. So we're going to get into that and go from there, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, as always, stay safe out there and tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Compelled, Joe.
Mike,
All right.
out.